Well, my chess career really began in California. My brother was a junior player when he was quite young, and so because of that, he would go and play tournaments around the United States, and I would end up going along. And through that, I just by being around chess, I got into the game, and eventually I started playing it. I think it's very different. For me, I was homeschooled, which gave me many opportunities to travel around the country, also to travel a lot in Europe to compete against some of the best kids in the world. And so because of this, I had the opportunity to see a lot of different cultures, meet a lot of different people, whereas had I not played chess, I probably would have only been exposed to people from similar backgrounds as myself, and only in America. So I think it really broadened my horizons. I think it doesn't matter what sport you play, you know, to break the record of someone who's considered a legend in any field is really a great achievement. And so for me, to break Bobby Fischer's record, it was very special, because when you think about American chess, he's the person who everyone thinks of as being the greatest player, you know, even in the world for that matter. That was around the time that I was 20. I was definitely strong enough to become a professional from the time I was about 16, 17, shortly after I made Grandmaster, but I decided to take a break and go to university for a bit. So because of that, I didn't really become a professional where I started making a living from the game until I was 20 years old. And from then till now, it's been my profession, and probably it will be my profession for many years to come. So for me, I mean, Kasparov was probably the person that I looked up to, because I used to follow a lot of tournaments online, actually, when the internet first came out, and many times I would watch Kasparov's games against the other top players, and I really liked his style and the way he played. So for me, Kasparov was definitely the person who I looked up to as I was growing up. He was sort of my chess hero. I really enjoyed his style. Much like myself, I felt like he was always very aggressive, trying to put pressure on his opponents from the very start of the game, and always out to win, trying to win every game, win every tournament. And certainly, you know, growing up and seeing him play when he was the most dominant player in the world, it left quite a mark on me. And hopefully, I can become as good as he was. It doesn't matter what you do, but for me, since I play chess, I feel like, you know, you might as well give it your best shot. I don't really see the point to taking draws, at least not early. I mean, you really should try and play every game out to the end, because chess is a sport at the end of the day, and you do want to win. So for me, that's sort of my whole philosophy, and it's always been that way, and I don't think it'll change. Hopefully it won't. I certainly think so. I mean, I'm very aggressive. I'm always trying to win. I think the same can be said about Barca as well. So I'm quite a fan these days. I mean, they have the best player in the world, of course, in Messi. I know some people, probably many of the other top chess grandmasters would disagree. But I mean, he's won the Ballon d'Oro 4 times, I think, now in a row. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Barca, and I mean, I try to win just like they do. I mean, there's so much history with the game of football in general, and you know they have such a storied history as a franchise. So it would be great if I had the opportunity to visit sometime soon. Well, it's the same, actually. It's probably my emotions. I'm perhaps a bit too emotional at times, especially when I'm playing chess, because if you're not objective, sometimes you can misevaluate positions. You can become too optimistic and overconfident. But at the same time, it's also quite good, because it makes you more motivated and ambitious to always try and win, to crush your opponents. And so it's both my best and my worst trait. I think people really do enjoy it, and I'm glad that there are so many people, so many fans out there who enjoy the games that I play and my style overall, and hopefully, you know, they keep following me, because I'm trying my best to play for them primarily. My next challenge really is to qualify for the candidate cycle to play for the World Championship title, and so I have a series of tournaments coming up. There's a tournament in Switzerland, and then there's a tournament in Norway, which has 7 of the other 8 top players in the world as well. So it's really about playing against the strongest players in the world and trying to win, and just doing slowly trying to improve step by step, and eventually getting to the top. For me, I focus first and foremost on the chess aspect, preparing openings, trying to get to positions that I'm more familiar with than my opponents are, and also from a physical perspective, working out quite a bit, because many times games can go very long. You can play for 5-6 hours, and when you have to do this every day for 2.5 weeks, it can become very tiring, because of course the players you're playing against are the absolute best as well, and so every little mistake that you can capitalize on, or even that you make, your opponents will take advantage of. So it's very important to both be very well prepared mentally from the chess perspective, and also physically, so that you don't get tired. I've worked with several different people. I think with Arthur specifically, he's well known as being a trainer specifically, and in chess it's very difficult to find people who are specifically focusing on being trainers. Many people are players and they turn into coaches, but you really need someone who has a lot of experience as a trainer, and he's been a trainer for at least 10 years now. So I was really looking for someone who was a trainer and was very familiar with the chess scene, and I think it's a pretty good fit. I learned most of my chess through playing on the internet, and I think that's it's a very novel approach. It's more from the 21st century, because of course the internet wasn't around in the old days. So I learned mainly from playing on the internet, and so it's much different than a lot of the other top players, most of whom are from Russia or the former Soviet republics, who they all grew up with a certain method of training, whereas I have a completely unique and different approach. And I think it gives me a big advantage, because if I can combine both approaches, then I have something that a lot of the other top players don't have. They don't have a certain style of training and understanding. I think certainly I made my career at least from maybe 5-10 years ago, everyone will remember me from playing online. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to be remembered for classical chess and being stronger at that, but certainly playing on the internet and being the best player there for many years, certainly I think it's what most people will remember me for at the moment. And I know there's so many videos out there of me playing Blitz, and I'm just I do like playing Blitz. It's a lot of fun. That's another thing, is certainly when I play on the internet, I try to play against anyone. There are many players who perhaps they don't spend so much time on the internet playing, and therefore a lot of people don't have the same sort of level of interaction with their fans that I do. Right now he's the strongest player in the world, but just because someone's the strongest player in the world doesn't mean that other players shouldn't try. And right now he's the strongest player in the world, but I feel that if I keep doing what I'm doing right now with the approach, the training methods and everything, that I have a very good chance to catch up to him and possibly pass him in the next couple of years. I mean, we're rivals. With anyone who you compete against, it's very difficult to be friendly. And with him, I always try to come out and beat him and play aggressively. So, we don't necessarily hate each other, but we are rivals. And with rivals, there's you can only be friendly to a certain extent. You have to try and crush them. Certainly I like playing against Kramnik the most, probably because, first of all, I have a good result against him, but also secondly because all the games we play are generally very exciting. They aren't boring or dry. They're very exciting, very tactical, very aggressive, and we're both trying to win. And it's a lot of fun when you play against someone who's more or less trying to play the same sort of style, play aggressively and creatively at the same time. In terms of people I don't like to play, I'd have to say probably it's people who I don't have a good record against. Primarily someone like Svidler or Carlsen, because with someone like Svidler, it seems from the start of the game I always tend to have some problems with him, and it shows in the results. But you know, it's once again, when you lose to someone, there's not really much worse you can do than when you lose. So there's only room for improvement. And also with Carlsen, I also have a bad score as well. But it's about improving and learning from your mistakes. And I certainly think I'm gonna have good chances against both of them in the near future. I think there are several young players, but Carlsen is who I view as my main rival, and he is #1 in the world right now. So he's the person that I'm thinking of, that I'm trying to pass, that I'm trying to beat. So he's definitely my main target and rival. Certainly, I think I can. I mean, I've spent so much time on this game. I'm going to definitely try my best to get there, and I think with the right approach, the right training methods, it's definitely possible. And right now, I'm working with several people who are very strong in different areas of the game, and I'm fairly confident that with the right approach, the right discipline, and just going about things, that I'll be able to get there. I really like Tarragona. I really like the whole Mediterranean climate with the sea nearby, a lot of seafood, just as paella, just everything in general I'm a big fan of. It's a lot different than, say, in America, where you don't have the same kind of climate, the same kind of food, and it's very nice being here. I really do like the city, and also with the history as well from the Roman times, so it's all around a big fan. Here? Maybe, we'll see. I mean, I'll probably end up somewhere in Europe eventually, because most of the tournaments that I play are in Europe, and it makes more sense. Maybe it'll be in Spain, maybe it'll be in Italy, who knows, but somewhere in the Mediterranean for sure.